Hello, good people, and welcome to Finance Skills Hub. Here, we learn, we connect, and we grow. When it comes to looking up results from another data set in Excel, especially when you are using Approximate Match, adding X to your formula or not can make a difference. So, if you want to know how this works, join me and let's go through this together. Okay, so we begin with our sample data. It's data for salespersons in column F, and then the amount that they sold in column I. The basic idea is to calculate the bonus that they've earned using this small table in column B and C, right? So as an example, for Nicholas, who sold 4,225, the bonus that is going to be applied here is 6%. Because 4,225 is caught in this range, 2,000 to 499, right? So that is how it's going to be. Now notice that these labels are in bins, so they're in ranges. So in this form and shape, it is very difficult to use it as it is. So usually what we do is to insert a helper column. So I'm going to insert this helper column. Now the reason I'm doing that is I want to extract the minimum points in this range. So for 0 to 199, I'm going to put in 0 here. Okay. Then 2,000 in that order, right? So 5,000 here. And then I have 10,000, 15. Okay. So if you have situations like this, insurance premium ranges and all that, it is helpful to have this column. Okay. Now, this is going to be the basis for your lookup, right? So if I take 4,225, how much bonus is the person going to get? Now, VLOOKUP and index match works in this situation, especially when the lookup data is sorted in ascending order. But there's a certain weakness that we will discover when we use VLOOKUP and index match for this. And that is where the power of X in XMATCH and XLOOKUP will help us solve this. So let's get to it. So with VLOOKUP, I'll start VLOOKUP. My lookup value is the sales amount. Okay. Now the table array is this lookup table. Now, if you know how VLOOKUP works, the lookup value or the lookup array has to be the first column. So I will not get my results if I select the entire table because my lookup array sits here, right? So usually the compromise is to select the table this way, right? That's VLOOKUP. So because I'm going to be copying down F4 to lock the reference. So that is my table array. Now, this now is column 1. This is column 2. So my result is coming, which is column index number from column 2, the bonus rate. So I'll put in 2 here, right? When I bring my comma, I have the option to choose approximate match or exact match. Now, because of the nature of this lookup table, which has some ranges, it was always going to bounce back to the next lower value, okay, based on the arrangement. So I'm going to choose approximate match for this purpose. Okay, so the idea is that if it looks for 4,225, it can't find it here. Which one is the next item? 2,000. So it bounces back and picks 6%, which works. So I'll close this. Right now, if I press enter, I get the decimal values. Okay, so I can format this, Control-Shift percentage. I have my 6%. If I want a bonus, I'll just multiply this whole formula by the amount. Okay, and then I'll format this properly. So this is VLOOKUP. Now, let's go to index match. So if I was using index match, I'll start with index, right? My result is coming from this bonus rate. So I'm going to select this range. Okay. Now, remember to lock it so that it doesn't move down. So F4, and then I'll introduce match. So match is asking for my lookup value, right, which is the sales amount. So I'll choose the sales amount, bring a comma, and then match it with the lookup array. So in this case, this is my lookup array. I'll select that, F4 to lock this as well, right? Then I'll bring a comma. Now, just as we had in VLOOKUP, I cannot use exact match. I would have to use less than. Okay, so based on the arrangement in ascending order, I will choose less than so that it bounces back to the next lower value. Okay, so if I do this and I close my bracket for match, close my bracket for index, again, we get the initial percentage, the initial decimal. I'll format this as a percentage. Okay, go ahead and then multiply this by the amount sold, and then the original format here was a percentage, so I'll have to format this. So far everything works. Now perchance if this data is not sorted in ascending order, okay, but in any other way, so as an example, if I stand here and then I turn it around, okay, you realize that this formula breaks, right? So it will still work, but you have to make some changes here, right, which is a lot of work. Now this is where the power of X comes in. So if I take this full index match formula, I'm not going to change anything here. I'm going to just copy this. Okay, so I'll copy this and then come to the XMatch column and then paste this. Now, if I just introduce X in front of match, that gives me XMatch, which is the newer version of match. Okay, so this actually takes care of this weakness. So whether it is sorted or not, I'm still able to get my results. But if I come to that match mode, which is in XMatch, okay, instead of +1 for less than, in this case, there's -1, right? So if I put in -1, it doesn't matter whether the data is sorted or not. It will still be able to bring the right answers, right? So that is how XMatch corrects this weakness. So that is XMatch. Now, thankfully, XLOOKUP, which is another lookup function also introduced recently, can also solve this. So here with XLOOKUP, I'll start XLOOKUP. My lookup value is still the sales amount. Okay, I'll bring a comma. My lookup array is going to be the amount. Okay, so in this case, whether it is sorted or not really will not matter. I'll put in an F4. Okay, and then my return array is going to be the bonus rate. So I'll come here and then select the bonus rate, F4 for that as well. Okay, now there are optional arguments here. If it is not found, I can put in an empty string, double quote, double quote. Now in the match mode, which is similar to XMatch, I'm looking for the next smaller item in the event my lookup value is not exactly matched. Okay, so here I'm going to put in -1. Right. Note that in the case of XMatch and XLOOKUP, the option for the next smaller item is -1. Right. So when I put it in here and I close that, I'll multiply this by the sales amount. Okay, I get the same numbers. Right. So of course, if the data is sorted properly or not, so I'm going to sort this back to how it was. You realize that our VLOOKUP index match works. XMatch is also working, XLOOKUP works. So the idea is, if you're in this situation, I think you are better off using any of these X functions, XMatch or XLOOKUP. It's a bit more robust. Okay, so that if perchance somebody distorts the arrangement, this will still work. So please practice and add it to your list of Excel tricks. Thanks for watching.
If this video was helpful and you would like to receive more of these videos directly on your WhatsApp, you can send ad to this WhatsApp number. We'll add you to our broadcast list so you receive our videos directly. You can also visit our YouTube channel, Finance Skills Hub. All our old videos are here. Please subscribe for notification of new videos or connect with us on any of these social media handles. Thank you so much for watching.